Hey, Dr. Kimmons in class. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the different points that we're supposed to for our video. So the summary of my findings in the examination of instructional strategies and including which approaches and strategies most resonate with me. So I think that there's a time and a place for any of those instructional strategies. In fact, whenever I was doing my instructional strategies, for my classroom planning, I had used three of the different strategies: the inquiry strategy, the cooperative learning strategy, as well as the direct instruction strategy, just according to what part of the lesson that we're doing and what may be best to, as far as like actual giving instruction first, especially in math, which is what I had chose to do. So all of these different strategies are going to come into play, and you should be able to use all of them in some form or fashion. Maybe you've got certain ones that you like more. I personally prefer the cooperative learning strategy for myself and for my classes as much as possible, because that's how I like to learn, and I think it's a great way for us to be able to get everybody involved and working together throughout their entire lesson plan. So, and you also are able to build those relationships, and it's able to also help be able to get some students that may be struggling more. They're going to be able to get more help from someone else in the class that may already have grasped that concept a little bit more than them. So an explanation of how instructional strategies relate to learning theories. So directly related to the learning theories, the constructivist strategy pretty much has a lot to do with the constructivist theory. It is directly relating to the cooperative learning theory, where you would be able to group people, and they're going to be able to learn from those that are higher up, as far as they know they have grasped that standard more than someone else has, and it's going to help them learn by being around someone that can do that and can help explain it to them. And not only, us as teachers, we can tell them something, and then they may have a classmate that tells them the exact same thing, and they're going to be able to pick it up better. So being able to feed off of each other as far as that goes in a cooperative learning strategy will help, and it also relates directly to the constructivist theory. Another one that I liked was the cognitive theory, and I think it relates extremely well to the inquiry theory, or independent instruction theories, strategies, because what that's going to do is it's going to make them expand on what their already prior knowledge is, and they're going to have to work to come up with the research that they are doing for whatever that project may be. So they are being able to expand on the knowledge that they've already got by adding on to that and researching it even more on their own in those independent activities that we would have them do, or research that they would do on their own. So for the most part, most of all of these theories are going to relate well to some type of different strategy that people have came up with that, hey, obviously they've had success with, and that's what we should use for our classroom. And that's why, even like I'd said, was I had three different ones that I was able to pull from and use in my instructional strategies that I thought worked well according to what we were planning to do for that day. So I think it's going to be beneficial for having knowledge of the theories and the different teaching strategies, no matter what subject you're doing. No matter the subject that you are planning to teach, there's going to be a time and a place that you may want to use that kind of strategy, or you've got kids or students that's the only way that they're going to learn is this certain strategy. So you have to think outside of the box. It can't be one size is going to fit everybody. You have to make sure that you are able to get across to all of your students, not just one or two of them. So even if you've got one or two that, hey, everyone else is understanding it this way, and you've got one or two that's not, you've got to figure out a way for them to be able to understand it. You can't just say they're not going to get it. So being able to come up with different strategies and instructional strategies as far as that goes, and using those theories to kind of manipulate that as far as which ones are going to work best for the students that you have. If they're a behavior issue, if they just don't understand it, they may just be just lower overall, and you just have to go with it from there. So a description of the instructional strategies that you can incorporate into your future professional practice to enhance student achievement, improve critical higher order thinking, and promote student engagement and motivation. For me, it is cooperative learning. I think that it's by far it's the best as far as the more diverse that we get and stuff like that, and you get people that they don't work together well, or they don't ever socialize with each other outside of the classroom. So you're able to build relationships with different students, and they're able to help each other and learn more about each other, especially if they're from a different culture or something like that that no one knows about. They may be able to understand that concept a little bit better. They're able to feed off of each other. It's not just all teacher-led instruction, which I do think is something that you need, especially in math. It's kind of hard you want to do it as far as like a direct instructional presentation whenever you're doing that kind of stuff, when you're teaching it, and then you can kind of go from there on ways that they're going to learn. So being able to think outside of the box and obviously use a wide array of what we're going to be using for instructional strategies is going to be the best concept as far as making sure that everybody is understanding what we are going through, what we're going over, and continuing to learn. And it's able to also just push those students that may be higher. You should be able to do some more challenging stuff in some of those groups, especially if you have maybe just one where you put an entire higher group. Like these kids have already grasped this entire standard, they're going to go on to the next standard that's slightly harder, and you can kind of group your students as far as that goes as well, and be able to make sure that you're not holding some students back, and you're also making sure that you're keeping everyone else up with what the standard is that you're trying to teach at this time. So thank you for your time, and I apologize it went slightly over, but anyways, thank you.